Welcome back, everybody, to another video. In this video, I thought I'd make this fun video comparing my two dedicated processor, the Marantz AV7706 with the Rotel RSP-1576. I run two theater rooms, but I can only run one main processor in the main room. So it was really a hard decision that I had to make. But I thought I'd make this fun video comparing the two, and I'll tell you why I prefer what I prefer and what I actually did. But before I give you guys my take, let me go over some features quickly. On the Marantz AV7706, retails roughly right now currently at $31.99, 8K at 60 Hz, 4K 120 Hz, Dolby Atmos, DTS:X, IMAX Enhance, or 3D, Dolby Vision, HDR10, HDR10 Plus, HLG, VRR, which is your variable refresh rate, ALLM, which is your auto low latency mode, QFT's quick frame transport. eARC is your enhanced audio return channel, XLR pre-outs, which is your balance connection. It's got one in and out HDMI 2.1 port. The rest of the HDMI port is a 2.0A. It is 11.2 channel processing. On the Rotel RSP-1576, retails at $23.99. I bought it for $24.99. So I guess it depends where you buy it from. It is 4K at 60 Hz, 1080p at 120 Hz, Dolby Atmos, DTS:X, Dolby Vision, HDR10. It is 11.2 channel processing. It's got your audio return channel. It is HDMI 2.0A port, and it is RCA pre-out. So obviously the Marantz has all the bells and whistles, the latest and greatest in technology, and the most feature. It has a deep, rich tone. It'll make your speakers sound warm. Best gaming processor I've ever had the pleasure of owning. I understand that the display circuit is tiny, but if you get the Marantz that have the pull down that shows you the bigger display, it'll make up for it, and so that way you don't have to depend on your TV for the visual. And don't be fooled by the low price. If you were to compare this processor to other processors that cost more, this AV7706 is a beast. I'm telling you. Not only does it come with all the necessary features, it packs a major punch. It will be more than powerful enough to run your home theater. Now, previously, I always chose the Denon brand over the Marantz, simply because I've never really owned Marantz. But now it's the other way around. With this 7706, watching movies in my 5.2.4 setup in OR 3D is a dream. And with the Rotel, to me, the sound is more on the neutral side than warm. Crystal clear, powerful, but yet clean. It does not have all the latest features, and I hate the fact that the audio return channel is not enhanced, meaning it doesn't output Dolby Atmos, only DTS and Dolby Digital. So Dolby Atmos is object-based, DTS and Dolby Digital is channel-based. On a side note, if you didn't know that. You can game 1080p at 120 Hz, but no ALM or VRR support. Watching movie, the processing power is constant, has non-stop audio performance. The harmonic sounds perfect to my ears. Fortunately, I own both processors to date, and I use them daily. But between them, I would have to choose. Preferably, I chose the Rotel RSP-1576 overall for all my home theater and gaming need. And I currently run that in the main room. That is the decision I had to come up with. The sound quality of the Rotel, I found, in my perspective, was a little more pure, a little more clean, a little more rich, and a little more powerful than the Marantz. I say this because I have tested these processor on the Rotel. I believe the model number is RKB8100V2, which is an 8-channel amp. Each channel is 100 watts. I also have tested these two processor on my Outlaw 7000X, which is 7 channels. I believe is 135 watts each, around that mark. And from the different setups that I've done, the Rotel always seems to outperform the Marantz in sound. But all that being said, it's all subjective to your setup and your ears. But if I didn't own the Rotel, the Marantz is more than enough power and sound quality that you would expect from a top-notch processor. At the end of the day, what matters is what you prefer, and for me, I preferably prefer this Rotel over the Marantz. Now, I originally bought the Marantz 7706 so I can play 4K at 120 through the processor. That way I don't have to run eARC, because when you run it through the processor, you can run DTSX in gaming on a Series X, and I like DTSX. And it was really tough. So with the Rotel, I can only do 1080p at 120 hertz when I'm gaming, and no ALLM support or VRR. And just if I want to run DTSX for sound, so I have to run it on ARC. But on ARC, there's no object-based Dolby Atmos. There's no object-based Dolby Atmos or DTSX. So in order to get my 4K natively at 120 hertz, I had to run eARC, right? But then for the ARC, I mean, it doesn't do Dolby Atmos. It only does DTS or Dolby Digital, which I had to sacrifice, and that's the whole point for me that's why I bought the Marantz. But overall, the sound was more important. The sound of the processor was more important to me than anything, basically. So that's why I chose the Rotel, even though the Rotel had way less features. But the good thing is that the Rotel, the way it sounds, even in audio return channel, it sounds perfect in my ears. So that's why between these two main dedicated processor, I went with the Rotel 1576. So that pretty much wraps it up for this video, guys. Any constructive comments or questions, leave it below. Keep it friendly. But until next time, thanks for tuning in. Subscribe for more. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Hooded Dragons out.